From its earliest days, the Limestone County Commission established two houses, one for the powerful and one for the powerless. Today, only a short span of iron remains as a reminder of the connections between the two. In 1852, the county paid $275.98 for a fence built of good white oak post and railing to replace an older fence at the courthouse. This fence stood through the 1862 sack of Athens and ensuing occupation of the town by military troops, the 1864 fire that gutted the courthouse, and the reconstruction of the courthouse from 1865 to 1869. When the courthouse work was finished, the county contracted with William Hayes to build another oak fence for $300. That fence stood for a quarter century before county commissioners decided in 1894 to pay George Sherrill $860 to erect a 900-foot-long, 4.5-foot-tall iron fence around the courthouse yard. As soon as it was completed, the commissioners had to remind residents not to hitch their horses to it. So, when a new courthouse was completed in 1919, it featured a new and much-used hitching rail around the lawn. The hitching rail also provided a welcome perch to enjoy a cool treat from Gilbert Drugg's soda fountain on a hot summer day. But by 1974, parking meters replaced the hitching rail. In recent years, a chain around the lawn replaced the parking meters, but as the courthouse underwent major renovations as it approached its centennial, a construction fence went up around the lawn. After the renovations were completed in 2017, county leaders decided that "Don't fence me in" would be the new policy. The lawn has remained open ever since. Meanwhile, George Sherrill's iron fence found a new home at the county poor farm after the 1916 construction of the current courthouse. Limestone County's plan for the poor began with commissioners appointing overseers of the poor, like Moses Ferguson in 1820, who could bring cases of dire need to the attention of the court. By 1842, the county paid Henry French $110 a year to oversee the county's poorhouse, and they also allowed him the use of the plantation attached to the home. In 1882, the county contracted with local Dr. Theo Westmoreland to provide medical services to both the county poorhouse and the jail. At that time, the poorhouse was located on Nick Davis Road, and in 1896, the Alabama Courier reported that living conditions in the 6 log cabins that a dozen inmates called home were a disgrace, unfit for man or beast. They called on county officials to buy a farm nearer to town, saying, "The inmates of the county poorhouse are usually without relatives and friends, and the county is the only legal guardian and protector they have, and it behooves the county then to see to it that her wards are properly cared for." Within a year, though, Billy Lambert was on the job, and in February of 1898, he and his wife welcomed the press and the county leaders to a turkey dinner and a tour of the farm. The Courier editor raved about the improved cabins, the 250-tree orchard and crops that had been planted, and the new spring house that covered the spring that before had been, as they said, nothing better than a hog wallah. This farm served the county until 1918, when the county built a new Mercy Home for the Poor on Elkton Rd north of Athens. The old iron fence from the courthouse surrounded this home, which included an orchard, a vineyard, and separate living quarters for whites and Negroes. Many of the people who lived at the almshouse, as it was known in county records, were elderly, disabled, and had no known living relatives, like Aunt Josie, an 85-year-old woman who had lived on L.S. Southard's place until she was admitted in 1935. Aunt Josie was one of the last residents of the county poor home. In 1940, James Chapman paid the county $3,050 for a 120-acre portion of the farm. And in 1942, the home, buildings, and remaining farm were subdivided and sold at public auction. John McCurry bought the home in 1955, and the fence remained with his family until his son, Doug McCurry, donated this section to the county in 2007. It still stands on the southwest corner of the Limestone County Courthouse today, a reminder of both the powerful and the powerless in Limestone County's history.